FLOSSTUBE anniversary. 1 year we've had of Darcy. FLOSSTUBE anniversary. It's been a whole year. Can you believe what have we learned about the Stitch Man? Full coverage is really his thing, and it takes some convincing to change his ways. But he did stitch the fruits of plenty. FLOSSTUBE anniversary. 1 year we've had of Darcy. FLOSSTUBE anniversary. It's been a whole year. Can you believe? What else do we know about the Stitch Man? He's a passionate stay-at-home dad who likes the Beatles, and he curses in his videos. Fuck, he will say. You guys, his videos need a parental advisory. FLOSSTUBE anniversary. 1 year we've had of Darcy. FLOSSTUBE anniversary. It's been a whole year. Can you believe? FLOSSTUBE anniversary. FLOSSTUBE anniversary.
This makes me a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera, but I don't know that it gives me energy. I feel like I'm getting a little bit sleepy.
Baby, you're a Stitch Man. Baby, you're a Stitch Man. Baby, you're a Stitch Man. Duh. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yep. We're 5 minutes in, and we haven't even gotten started yet. It's my 1 year anniversary today, and I'm not going to be humble about it. This is what we're doing. Strap yourselves in.
You're a Stitch Man. You're a Stitch Man. Baby, you're a Stitch Man. Baby, you're a Stitch Man. You're a Stitch Man.
It's been way too long since I've been sitting here doing this. It actually feels kind of awkward. It's been so long that I don't even remember why it has been that long. There were reasons why. I don't know. People were sick. People in my house were sick, and I somehow avoided being sick until everybody got better, and then I got sick. and then after that, oh my God, after that, there was a strike in our school system that closed schools. Like we survived COVID enough anyway to get kids back in school safely. And then they find some other reason to close schools. People are going on strike, and the kids were home for like 2 weeks. Like everybody was home. Everybody was sick. Everybody was just like, it was madness. It was madness, I tell you. And then a couple of weeks ago, everything did kind of get back to normal, and I could have done this then, but I figured it's close enough to this 1 year. We got to do something for 1 year, right? And I might as well just save everything and just show you everything at once. So like it was like mid-October the last time I didn't do a thing in November. Not one November video. Like I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Nobody cares about any of that. I'm here now. It's December 1st. 1 year ago today, I posted my very first FlosStube video, and your lives changed forever. I've got a lot to do today and a lot to talk about today, a lot of things to show you today, and a really fun thing at the end, which I hope turns out as fun as I'm imagining it's going to turn out. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I hope that you have as much fun as I've been having. And I don't want this to be as much as I would just like to just overly indulge myself and have this be just 2 hours of me. I don't actually want to do that. So I'm still going to try to keep this as like normal length as possible. And because of that, some of my normal things, like some people asked me some questions, and some people sent me some amazing stitchy kindness things in the mail. I'm not saying I'm not going to get to that stuff today, but I might not get to that stuff today. But I will get to it. I know I've sent you messages and like thank you, and I love all this. I love all the stuff that you've been sending me. So thank you. But if I don't get to that today in this video, I will get to it next time, because I want to talk about it and I want to show it and I want to like let you know how thankful I am for it. But despite the fact that I'm rambling on and on right now, I don't want this to be too epically long, and I've got stuff to do and a million things to show. November was wild for me anyway, for WIPs and for progress and for new starts, and like I just feel like my stitch life is in just shambles and chaos right now. So I've got a lot of that kind of stuff to go through, and then a fun thing at the end, and I feel like there might not be that much time for very much else. So if only I could stop rambling about it, we could get to it. I do still want to do one quick shout out before I get to that other stuff, because I discovered these 2 new people right after my last video way back in October, and I was so excited about them right away. I messaged them and I was like, I want to be best friends with you, and like I can't wait to share you with everybody and like to talk about you and to gush about you. And then like 6 months went by and I just disappeared and ghosted everybody. but I'm just as enthusiastic to talk about them. Their names are Justine and Jackie, and their channel is called X's and Hoes. And they are exactly the kind of people that you would imagine would have a channel name called X's and Hoes. They're so funny and so much fun to watch. I was just like, I was hooked instantly. I watched all of their videos and sent them gushing messages trying to be their best friend. And I couldn't wait to tell you about them. Are you watching X's and Hoes? Because if you're not, you really need to. I burst into our kitchen after I'd been talking to them, and I declared to Melissa, guess what? I befriended the hoes.
Excuse me?
And I know there's a lot of FLOSSTUBERS out there, and everybody sort of has their rotation and their people, and it's really hard to add new people in. But it's not hard to drop somebody and replace them with somebody else. And doesn't Jacob get enough attention as it is? He's not going to know if you watch his newest video or not. Go watch the X's and Hoes instead. He won't mind. He won't even notice. I'm just kidding. Don't actually do that. Jacob's my buddy and I love him. But if you can squeeze in X's and Hoes somewhere into your rotation, I promise you won't regret it. All right, well, I think that's enough nonsense before I get to the WIPs. It doesn't feel like I've been sitting here that long, but I know with like the intro that I've already edited and all the other nonsense that I'm going to put in here, it's probably been like 10 minutes already. So we got to get to it because we got stuff to get to. November was nuts for WIPs in progress. So let's get into it. I did so much stuff in November and now I am overwhelmed. When I was organizing all my stuff and getting everything ready that I wanted to show and talk about today and all the things I've been doing, I piled it all up and I counted it all up, and I've got 8 WIPs on the go right now, and I just finished Deck the Halls like a week ago, so it was 9 WIPs is what I had going on in November. And I know some of you are like, wow, 9 WIPs, okay, I start 9 things a day, what's the big deal? Like, I know my friend Alyssa Jones just did a WIP parade in her last video, and I think she had like 45 things. And even that is low for some of you. but for me, 9 is chaos. Like at least it's 8. It's down to 8 now, but even that is just madness. I have until this year, I've never worked on more than one thing at a time, and now I've got 8 things on the go, and I don't know how to keep track of them, and I don't know what to work on, and I don't know what to. It's just. It's getting to be a bit much. I don't know how I'm going to handle it all. And anyway, whatever. Don't tell me your problems. Let's just see what you've got. Okay, I hear you. First, I want to talk about a couple of things that I didn't work on at all, but I still want to talk about them. Last time in my last video, I said that I had this really solid plan to only work on 2 things, and this is what I said I was going to do. This and this. That's it. I have no desire to do anything else for the next at least 2 weeks except this and this. And I did do one of those things perfectly and exactly as I said I was gonna do it. And the other one, not at all. And here's the not at all. Look, Alice, she still looks exactly the same as she did in the middle of October. Hasn't been touched, hasn't been taken out of the Q-snap, not at all, not at all. Because I did Chessie first, and I did everything that I wanted to do with Chessie, still intending to do that and this, but by the time I finished Chessie, it was already November. The Fruits of Plenty thing came out, and Deck the Halls was like on its last part, and like Betsy's thing, and my birthday, and it was just the madness started as soon as it rolled over into November. So unfortunately, Alice didn't get worked on at all, but here she is anyway. One other thing that I haven't worked on or talked about in a while that I do want to mention, because we're doing a 1 year, as long as we're doing a 1 year retrospective of things, let's talk about this. Sunflower Cottage Stitch Along. The end. Here's what it looks like, and here's what it has looked like since the summer. I haven't worked on it at all, and I feel really bad about that. I do want to get back to this. I probably won't get back to it until after Christmas, but in the new year, I am going to get back to this. But I do want to say, as long as I'm like reminiscing about the past year, that when I started floss tubing, I was like, I thought I was like this expert stitcher, and it turns out that like I didn't really know anything except a few things that I knew and was really good at. I didn't know anybody. I'd never been involved in anything. I didn't know what a stitch along was. I'd never participated in one, let alone started one. And then so I was just in one of my early videos. I love this so much, and I have loved it for a long time. I held this up like, you know, with patterns that I had in my stash, and like whined and complained about how much fun and how colorful and how much fun it looked like to do, and how I've been staring at it for all these years trying to like think of a reason to do it. This could be for a 40-year-old man, couldn't it? I'm the one that's excited about it. I'm the one that wants to do it. Can I just do it for me? Is that a thing? Or is that like, or can I just do it and like, do you want it? Does somebody out there want this? If I did it, would you take it? Just give me an excuse to do it. And then along comes Emma with a message of like, you know, I've got that in my stash too. And if you want a reason to do it, maybe we could do it together. And then that grew to maybe we could get other people involved too. And like, it's not some kind of like worldwide phenomenon or anything, but a lot of people all over the world are stitching this, or have finished it, or are currently stitching it, or like some people have like even started it recently. Some people are already done. Some people are like all like in the middle, and there's people scattered everywhere. And the reason that I know this is what a stitch along is, and you're all just like, okay, like what's the big deal? But it's when I think about it, it's a big deal to me that like the reason that so many people are doing it is because, you know, little old me sitting here in my little hometown in my Santa Claus costume, just whining and complaining about like how much fun this would be to do, all rallied around and joined in with me and are all doing it with me. Some people might not even realize that that's why this is going on, but whatever. It just blows my mind that because I sat here and just like, I wish I could do this, now I'm doing it, and so many people all over the world are doing it with me. It's like, it's mind-boggling and it's touching, and I love it, and it's exciting, and thank you all. One last thing before I get into actual progress. Speaking of like whips that haven't been touched in a long time. Remember this guy? Look at this. Isn't he awesome? I've been working on this on and off for, well, not even on and off. I started working on it like, I don't know, 6 years ago, and then just abandoned it. And I picked it back up shortly after I started floss tubing, and I realized that it was okay to work on more than one thing at a time. But it petered out again. Like that, like I love it, and this would be gorgeous if it was ever finished. I would love to see this hanging on my wall, but it's just not as fun to work on as some of my other fun things. But I do love it, and I would love to see it finished. So if I can get some of my other whips under control and not start any other things, we'll see if that happens. But if I can do that in the new year, then I do hope to get back to this, because I would love to see it done. Right? It's pretty. Okay, on to things that I actually worked on and made progress on. Let's start with the thing that I finished. So this will be the last time that we get to hear the Kaylee Deck the Halls song. So let's enjoy it. Let's see where I was last time.
Ting 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 ting. Deck the halls with boughs of Darcy. Fa la 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 la. This is what it looked like last time. Fa la 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 la. Look at all this great progress. Fa la 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 la. Darcy's cell game is flawless. Fa la 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 la.
And here's what it looks like in all its finished glory. Look at that! Isn't it pretty? This was a lot of fun to work on, and I thank Joe from Belushi Stitches and Emma X Stitching for convincing me to do it. I said in the beginning, when this was like upcoming last spring, I said I was going to do it, kind of in the back of my mind, feeling like I wasn't really going to do it. I was just trying to get them off my back. But I was in Michael's one day and I thought, well, I might as well just get the colors that I need for it that I'm missing, just in case I want to start it. And like, then I convinced myself that like, well, I don't have pretty blue fabric or whatever, but like, whatever, I'll just do it on white. It'll still look good. And okay, I'll do it. So I started doing it, and I'm really glad I did, because I like it a lot, and it's Christmassy and it's fun, and I have to fully finish it now because it's Christmas and we've got Christmas decorations up, and I know, hey, look, I finally finished it for Christmas, and just shove it in a drawer and forget about it. So I'm gonna have to fully finish this soon. I might do like, I think the way that a lot of people did it was like there's like a wooden dowel or something rolled up here, and like you can just sort of hang it instead of framing it, something like that. I'll figure something out. I did wash it too, by the way, even though you can still see hoop marks on the side here. Maybe I didn't wash it vigorously enough. I might have to wash it again. But now that I washed one thing and it didn't ruin it, now I love washing stuff. So I've washed stuff in the middle sometimes just because this is a little bit dirty. I'm going to wash it and fluff it up a little bit. It's fun to wash stuff. Don't be so afraid of it, everybody. Me, I was the one that was afraid of it. Anyway, Deck the Halls, finished, fun to work on, never to be seen again. All right, next up, Chessie. I actually made some pretty awesome progress on Chessie. So let's take a look at where it looked like last time.
This is what Chessie looked like last time you saw it. Darcy probably regrets asking me to do this.
And here's what Chessie looks like today. Take a look. What? Look at him. He's finally out of his Q-snap. And you can see him in all his glory. I mean, it looks a little wrinkly, but whatever. I'll fix that when he's all done. Look at that. Pretty cool, right? I guess that's all I have to say about that. This has been a real blast to work on. I've had a lot of fun with this. Even though it's not super like multicolored like the sunflower cottage is. It's mostly just blue and purple, but they're really fun blues and really fun purples to work with. And I've been having a lot of fun working on this. There's a little bit left, not a full page worth, but on this side over here, that tree trunk is going to be a little bit bigger. And then the whole top part is going to be completely finished. It's a 15 page pattern. This is 4 pages. That'll be 5 pages. But the last strip along the bottom, that's not full pages. So I feel like this is actually a little bit more than a third of the way if I finish all the way across the top. So I feel like I can reasonably finish this within the next 2 years, as long as I keep my WIPs under control. If I don't end up, sitting here next year with 20 WIPs instead of 8, I feel like I can make good progress on this. I could finish it by maybe not next Christmas, but the Christmas after that. And this is going to be for Dylan. And that's it. That's all there is to say about that. Next, what's next? This one, Fruits of Plenty, Jacob Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along. Let's see what it looked like in October.
Fruits of Plenty. That's the stitch along from Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. Stitch Stitchman Darcy. He is really going to catch up with us all, it's plain to see.
And here's what it looks like now. It's getting a little bit big for me to stay sitting in my chair and still hold it up, but I insist on staying in my chair. Here it is, look! One more little piece left. I mean, it's not little, but just December left to go, and this whole thing is going to be finished. Here's a slightly better close-up of what I actually did in November. This was the November part right here. With the 2021. You know, when I started this in July, actually I think it was July, and declared boastfully that I was going to catch up and finish it by the end of the year. There was a little like nagging voice of reality in the back of my head that didn't actually think I was going to do that, and I was going to make up some excuse about like why it was too. Because once I started doing it, I realized how, even though it's not full coverage, there's a lot of stitches in each section, especially when I'm trying to work on other things. And I didn't actually think that I was going to catch up by the end of the year. I mean, I did. I thought it was possible, but I wasn't as confident as I let on here in these videos. But I did. And yay me. Aren't I awesome for actually catching up, and like catching up like a month or two ago, whenever I caught up? I've really got one section left. December is going to be another finish. How many finishes is that this year? Like including a couple of little things, or like, I don't know, 4 or 5 finishes in 1 year. Before this year, I hadn't finished anything since 2018. And now all of a sudden I'm going to have like possibly 5 finishes in a year. That's like, as much as I'm whining about all my WIPs and all that, I'm getting overwhelmed and like, I'm never going to finish this and I'm never going to finish that. And I've been finishing quite a bit. Yay me. Aren't I awesome? That's why they call me Stitch Man. So anyway, one more section to go. This has been a lot of fun to work on. I'm kind of jealous of some of the people that I know that have just started it recently and still have a long way to go, because I'm really going to miss working on this. I know he's going to have another one next year, but like it's not going to be this. I'm sure it'll be just as fun and just as beautiful, but like I really like this and I've really been enjoying it, and I am really going to miss it. Okay, so now in addition to those things, I've got a couple of new starts that I started in November. I'm going to have to get Kaylee to sing me some new songs. I don't have any songs for these. So my birthday was November 2nd, and I got to have a birthday start. Everybody told me that's a thing. I'm not allowed to have a birthday without starting a new thing. So I had one all kitted up and ready to go, a really humongous Heaven and Earth that I've been waiting to do for years now. And I thought that might be the one that I was going to start. But instead of that, I decided to start the tiniest little Heaven and Earth that I have ever seen. One that I've also had in my stash for quite a while. This one right here called Alice Descending. This is even the normal size one is pretty small by Heaven and Earth standards. And this is the mini version on top of that. So this is like, as Heaven and Earths go, this is itty bitty. It's only what, 66 stitches, 65 stitches wide. It's not even like as wide as a normal page of a Heaven and Earth. But I love it, and like I don't need gigantic things that cover the whole wall. I thought I needed that like a year ago. That's all I wanted to do. But like I've had my eyes open and seen the value of doing smaller, more reasonably sized things, and like I'm excited to have this, which I love so much, but not have it be humongous. Anyway, stop talking and show us. This is all I did so far. I worked on it just on my birthday, and I haven't worked on it since because I've been doing other things. But it's not like, okay, it's not going to sit there for another year and I'll just work on it on my birthday. I am going to work on this. And it's very reasonably sized, as I was just rambling about. If I was only working on this for the month of November, if I would have started this on my birthday and only done this, I think I would be more than half finished right now, because it's quick, and it's quick. It's not hard. So I am excited to get some of these other WIPs and finishes under control and have this be one of my things in the new year that I make good progress on. And yes, I know It's another Alice thing. The big one that I was gonna start is an Alice thing. I replaced it with a smaller Alice thing, and I've already got a couple of other Alice things on the go. Yeah, I know. I like Alice things. What do you want from me? Leave me alone. All right, and then November 19th was Betsy's birthday, and Betsy had a sal going on for her 60th, to celebrate her 60th birthday, called hashtag Betsy is old sal. There it is. Betsy is old. Super old. I know everybody else that is like 60 or over, you're not old, but Betsy's old. So I started Jacob's Spirits of the Dead. Here, I don't have a physical pattern of it, but like I'm sure I can make it appear in my hands here. See? There it is right there. I started Spirits of the Dead in honor of the Betsy is Old Sal, and here's how far I have made it so far. Isn't that nice? I love it. I didn't do the, I know Chris is working on the, like, on darker fabric than like the inverted version of it. Hang on, I have to burp. Look at me editing out my burps. I've become so sophisticated over the past year. I barely even fucking swear anymore. What the fuck? I love this. And it's going super quick. I haven't actually worked on it all that much, like just a couple of days, and I've already gotten this far. I don't feel like it's going to take very long. I mean, none of this stuff is going to take very long if I could just do that one thing. If you hadn't corrupted me into not being a monogamous stitcher, who cares about monogamy? Why would we want to finish anything, right? But it's pretty quick. And this fabric was sent to me by my friend Hillary from Rustic Threaded Stitcher. Sorry. Hillary sent this to me. She dyed it herself. She also sent me this floss to go with it, which I'm using, which is it's variegated. Variegated. Look at me with the terms. It's not like a solid dark black. It's dark in some places and light in some places. You know what I mean? It's fancy. And I really like the subtle kind of effect that gives. I don't know if you can really see. Here, look, can you see it? Can you see it? I like the effect that gives, and I don't know what floss this is, but I love it. And she sent this to me just out of the blue. It just showed up with no note or anything, and I thought, well, that would be perfect for this. And I messaged her about it, and she's like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So thank you. I didn't know what I was going to do or what I was going to use, and then it just fell into my lap. I lead such a charmed stitch life. So again, I keep talking about in the new year. I'm still going to do stuff in December, but December just still kind of feels like chaos too. But like if I can get myself organized a little bit and like figure out what and when, and I don't have deadlines for stuff or things that I feel like I have to do for certain reasons, then if I can set aside, a couple of days a week or whatever I want to do to work on this, I feel like even a couple of days a week would make really significant progress on this. Because I'm pretty sure maybe it was more than 2, maybe it was 3, but like this, I think this was only 2 days worth, and that's pretty decent, right? Right. Okay, now, something fun. We're going to do something a little bit sneaky and devious right now, and I'm going to involve you in it. So, let's get started. Stitchman Secrets. Okay, so I've mentioned this before in one of my earlier floss tubes about the possibility of doing a gift for Melissa, but not knowing how I would do that because she lives with me and she watches my floss tubes. So how would I ever talk about it, or how would I ever do it? But she mentioned recently that instead of going overboard spending money on each other on Christmas, because we don't even, what's the point? We don't need anything. But maybe we could make each other something that was like something that we wanted or something meaningful. We're those people. Let's make each other something instead of buy each other something. And what the fuck do I know how to make? I don't know how to make stuff, but I know how to stitch. So she, a while ago, was browsing Jacob's website. Jacob, we gotta check Jacob's website every now and then to see all the great things that he's doing. And she, there's several patterns that she loves, but she stopped on one in particular that she really, really, really liked. And it was this one right here. It's a Christmassy, wintry one. Right here. Where is it? Right here it is, right here. she really, really liked this one and stopped on it and like gushed over it. So when she mentioned the let's make something for each other for Christmas, I thought that's the first thing that came to mind. Now, what are we going to do? So because I don't want her to know about it, I've only been working on it either when she's not home or when she's asleep. And she does watch my videos, but she only, to my knowledge, she doesn't watch them or rewatch them on her own. She watches them with me while we're stitching in the evening. So that gives me a little bit of control over what happens here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about it and share it with you lovely people. And then when it comes time for Melissa and I to sit down and watch my video, I'm going to show her a version of this video that has this entire part edited out. So she won't even know that this exists. Isn't that just delightfully devious? So anyway, this is a bit of an ambitious undertaking, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it in time to give it to her for Christmas. But here's what I've managed to do in the last few days since we decided this is what we're going to do. Here's what it looks like so far. And that is near the bottom of page 1. And like, you know, some of these, it's 9 pages of pattern, but some of them have big gaps of like, it's not full coverage. So like it's a lot, and it looks like a lot, and it's daunting, especially knowing that I can only work on it in secret. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to really try to do it. I should mention also that this fabric was another gift from Hillery. It came in the same bundle as the Spirits of the Dead one, and I think it's pretty good for this. I think it looks pretty good with Jacob's DMC 3777, which is apparently Jacob's favorite red. And it's Jacob's favorite red. We got to do whatever Jacob says because everything Jacob says and does is perfect. So we got to use Jacob's favorite red. They should just rename that Jacob's red. So that's what I'm using. I'm not actually entirely sure what these fabrics are. I know that Hillery dyed them, and I'm pretty sure they're either 16 or 18 count. I think 16. It seems a little bit tiny little bit bigger than I'm used to. I asked her, and I'm not sure that she was sure either, or maybe I just don't remember. I don't know. Sending out drunken messages. What did you just send me? I gotta talk about it in my video, and then I forget. So this is what I've managed so far with her either sleeping or at work in the last couple of days, which I think is decent. I don't know if that's a fast enough pace to have it done and ready for Christmas morning. I don't even care if I'm working on it right up until like, you know, late into the night on Christmas Eve. That's fine. I mean, that's not really fine. I guess I should probably like go to bed with her and wish her Merry Christmas, but maybe I'll sneak back up and finish it if I have to. But we'll see how it goes. But this is what I have decided to undertake for Melissa's Christmas present, and this is how far I've gotten. And it's December 1st now, so I've got today plus 23 more days to finish 8.5 more pages on this pattern. And I might have bitten off a little bit more than I can chew here, but we will see how it goes. So don't say anything to her. If she finds out about this, then that means that you told her about it. And I'm not talking about all the other people that are watching right now. I'm talking about you. You specifically. I'm going to know that you told her, and I am going to come to your house with a rolled up roll of 18 count Ada, and I'm going to smack you over the head with it. Stitchman Secrets. Well, that felt like it took forever. Hopefully I can edit that down into like some sort of a reasonable length you're going to tune out before I even get to the fun stuff here. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit self-indulgent, but I'm going to try to not make it like it's not going to be too much. And it's going to be fun. I really hope this is going to be fun. It's been fun for me so far. I hope you have fun watching this. So I just wanted to reminisce a little bit about my past year of like stitching and floss tubing and like, you know, where I was a year ago. Where was I a year ago? Look at this idiot. so nervous and so awkward and so like thought he knew everything and didn't know anything. I was like, I considered myself, I've been stitching for so long and done so many like things that I think are pretty good that like I considered myself a little bit of an expert until I met all of you people and realized that I didn't know what anything was. I didn't know that there was stuff besides Ada to stitch on. I didn't know any of the terminology. I didn't know any of the people. I didn't know any designers except the one or two that I was like laser focused on. I didn't know what variegated floss was. I didn't know what anything was. I didn't even know what a needle minder was. And look at me now. Now I drive one. That's a Steve Martin joke. I can't take credit for that one. So for a couple of years before I started actually floss tubing, I know I've told this story before and I'll try to just make it quick and not just say the same thing all over again. But I somehow discovered FlosStube, but I didn't really discover FlosStube. I discovered Kyle, and I only discovered Kyle. And for the longest time, me watching these like FlosStube videos, my entire FlosStube world and experience was just all Kyle all the time. I only watched his videos, and I watched all of his videos, and I even rewatched some of them. It was not until I got to the very end of like, I've got no Kyle left, that I decided to branch out and see if there were more and if there was anybody else out there that I might like too, because it was just a world of Kyle. Was my whole stitching life and my whole FlosStube experience. Kyle. And I would sit there and have these daydreams about like, I could do that too. Not just like steal his, what he does, although I kind of did do that. Like the drunken male stitcher buffoon. But I like making videos and I like stitching, and like I had these daydreams along the way of like in those 2 years of possibly jumping in and doing it too. But like then I would get nervous, or I would talk myself out of it, or like everybody seemed to know everybody and I didn't know anybody. I wasn't on Instagram. I had never talked to anyone. I had never messaged anyone. I had never commented on anyone's videos. I was just this like stranger lurking in the shadows that like thought I could be in there too. I want to be buddies with me. And I didn't know how to do it. So for the longest time, I didn't do it. And then one day I did it. Aren't you lucky? Aren't you happy I did it? It's been quite an awesome experience ever since I jumped in and started doing it. After that first video, which I thought was completely like just an awkward disaster. And I actually sat on it for a few days before I decided to post it, because I thought that's not what I wanted. Nobody's going to like that. And like, but whatever, it was good enough. And like, that'll just be the jumping point to like get better after that. So I did end up posting it, and I was completely shocked at the response that I got from people. But after that first video, by the time I was ready to make my second one, like the first one had its run and it's done, and now like, okay, let's do another one. I think it was around 250-ish, maybe even 300 views, and I had about 40 or 50 subscribers, and I was like, my mind was boggled by that. I couldn't believe. I didn't even know when I started. When I posted the first video, I didn't even know what subscribers were. I didn't subscribe to people. I was like when I watched Kyle, I had Kyle's channel bookmarked. Like, it's 1998, and like, let's go to our bookmarks and see if anybody's posted any new things. I didn't subscribe. I didn't know what that was. And when I started getting these messages that people were subscribing to me, I didn't know what that meant. I had to ask Melissa, what do I do? Do I owe them something now? What's happening right now? And then when she told me that, like, so you're telling me that like 40 people care enough about what I just did that they want to be notified when I do it again. Like, I couldn't even comprehend that was a thing. I was so blown away by that. And like, if you would have told me then that I'd be sitting here now a year later and that number is not 40 anymore, it's 3,415, that just wouldn't even be that's not reality. That's not even a comprehensible number to me. I know like 5 people in my life. I always say, like, if I ever won the lottery, I'd be like the greatest lottery, the way that people always come out of the woodwork and like, I need money. I don't know anybody. There'd be nobody to do that to me, and it'd be easy to say no to them because I don't know anybody. So the idea that 3,415, as I sit here, people have hit that subscribe button is just like, it's not, I don't even know how that's real. You have all been so nice to me and so supportive and so kind and so welcoming, like really made me feel like I was like a part of everything, when I thought that I was going to be this, like, you know, drunken ogre off in the corner. Like, you know, okay, you can be here if you want, but like, can you just stay in the corner and not bother the rest of us? I thought that was going to be my little place in the stitching world. You're allowed to be here, but just stay over there and don't bother us. That's kind of what I thought, and that's not what has happened. And part of that I've realized is because you're all a bunch of fucking weirdos. It's not just me. I really do appreciate it though, and I love what has happened, and I love all the people that I have talked to and who comment, and friends that I've made, and like the things that you've done for me and things that you've sent to me and horizons that you've expanded for me. I was a bit of a snob when I started a year ago. Like, you know, I'd worked my way up to doing Heaven and Earths and full coverage, and like I thought that I was stuck there now. Like that's what I do now. Like why would I do like smaller other things, like as if that was some kind of step backwards, and it's not. And I learned that from all of you. And I love doing those smaller things, and I love doing non-full coverage things, and not things that are just Heaven and Earth, and like things on different colored fabrics and different needles and needle minders and flosses and linens and silks and like all this stuff that, like, you know, all the stuff that I would have just, my eyes would have glazed over if you would have talked to me about this stuff a year ago. It's you've all done that for me, and I appreciate it, and I love it. It's also because of all of you that I'm now like drowning in WIPs. I have my entire life up until and including my first video, I only ever worked on one thing at a time. Like my big princess that I finished. Look, here she is right here. Let's reminisce. I brought her up here just to say hello. I haven't fully finished her yet still, but let's take her out of the drawer and let her breathe a little bit. Look, there she is right there. All finished. Just as gorgeous as ever. I had been working on that on and off for 8 or 9 years. But when I would work on something else in between, it wasn't multiple WIPs. Like I wasn't doing that and this. This got shelved and not worked on until the new thing was finished. So it was one thing at a time until it was done, or until I'd made progress on this and started something else, and then this got shelved again. I was not a multiple whipper, and now I am, and I blame you all for that. The other thing that I really tried to make an effort to do when I started, you know, when I decided, okay, I'm a floss tuber now, I didn't want to just post a video and then go hide in my hole until my next video. I wanted to be friends with people, and I wanted to be like, feel like I was a part of stuff and not just like on the sidelines. So, and I don't know how to do that. I'm not good at meeting people and making new friends, especially like one-on-one. I know like maybe I come across as like fun and charming here in these videos, and I am. I am fun and charming, but it's not easy for me to make a new friend. I don't really know how to do it, but I intended to do it, and I made an effort to do it, and I did it. And some of those friends have very kindly and graciously recorded some messages of love and support for the old Stitch Man on his 1-year anniversary. And I feel like I should share some of those with you if you'd like to see them. Would you like to see all the love and kindness that I got from some of my friends? Doesn't that sound like fun? One quick side note before we get into this is that I thought that I was going to do this, and then at the end I'd come back with my little ramblings of like thank yous and blah 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 or whatever. But like the thing that I ended up, you'll see, but like it just, the thing that I'm going to end with is just the perfect ending that I feel like I would just ruin it if I came back afterwards and did any sort of extra goodbye ramblings. So I'm going to do that now. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that has helped me, to everybody that has supported me, to everybody that watches me, to everybody that is friends with me, to everybody that has taken part in what you're about to witness right now. The effort that was put in to this and the willingness to go along with whatever sort of brain dead nonsense that I throw at people is just like, it's really touching. It actually touches me that people are willing to do stuff for me and to go along with whatever I say. But just like, I don't have words really for how overwhelmed I am and how much I love and appreciate everybody and all the things that you've done for me and all the things that you do for me. And without further ado, let's just stop rambling and get into this. Here we go. The very first friend that I ever consciously made an effort, like, okay, I need to make a stitchy friend and I'm going to do it. Who am I going to befriend? I was watching a video and I was like, this is my friend. I want to be friends with this person and I'm going to do it. And that person was Claire from Stitch Lit by Claire. I instantly wanted to be friends with her. And so I sent her a message basically just asking her to be my friend. And it worked. It worked. We are friends and we've been friends ever since then. And she sent me the nicest kindness message of support and love for my 1-year anniversary. And here it is. I just have to share it with you.
Seriously, there aren't enough people talking about Darcy? Okay, first impression, kind of annoying. I talked about how little sleep I'm getting because of my baby, and he still reminds me how his kid slept through the night since he was like 3 days old. So, not the best impression. He's like funny, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of over all the hype, to be honest. I really think, like, I'm way funnier, so.
Can you feel the love? Can you just feel it? She loves me. So after that, once I befriended Claire and I realized that I actually could make a friend, then I wanted to make more friends. And I did. And it's been so great. And like you are all just like, you're such lovely, weird, hilarious, awesome people. And some of those awesome people insisted, of course not because I messaged them and begged them to do it. That's not what happened. Some of those lovely people insisted, knowing that it was my 1-year anniversary coming up, that they wanted to record some messages of love for the Stitch Man. So, like, enough rambling from me. Let's watch some of them. Here we go.
Scott, I'll be right there. I just have to do this stupid message that Darcy asked me to do. I know, he's a pain in the ass. And he thinks he's funny. But anyway, just give me a minute and I'll be right there. Okay. Hi, Darcy. Congratulations on your 1-year FLOSSTUBE anniversary.
Darcy Cameron? I guess I don't know who you're talking about.
Hey Tim, have you ever heard of Stitchman Darcy?
Oh, isn't that the quarterback for the Toronto Blue Jays? I don't know, I don't watch ice hockey. Why is that?
He's asking me to make a video for his FLOSSTUBE anniversary, but I don't even know who he is.
Weird.
Darcy? Sorry, doesn't ring a bell really. Darcy who? Sorry, I have no idea. Oh, you mean Jacob? Yeah, I totally love Jacob. He's like the best.
Doesn't it just melt your heart? Everybody's just so nice to me. Let's watch some more.
Well, honestly, the things you have to do to get out of doing a favour for Darcy. Here we are at Tully's Bill.
Don't worry about him. He's fine. He got mauled by a wild dingo or something. I don't know what happened, but he's fine. Don't let that stop you from being included in the Stitch Man video. You got to have your priorities straight. I don't care if you're in the hospital.
Oh, okay. Oh, Darcy Cameron. Darcy Cameron. It's my 1-year vlogiversary, and I'd like everyone to send me insults, messages. Darcy who? Ugh.
Have you heard of some guy named Darcy Cameron?
No.
Weird. This guy emailed me asking me basically to congratulate him for having a YouTube channel for a year. He's not someone from your office?
No.
Oh, weird. I don't know him either. Delete.
This is so great. I love all the love and support that I'm getting from people. Let's watch some more.
Every once in a while, a new FLOSSTUBER bursts on the scene and just becomes a beloved sensation overnight. And I wanted to talk about one such FLOSSTUBER today. We all know and love him, and we love his beautiful stitching, but we also tune in for his stories and his jokes and his songs. He has a beautiful singing voice.
Hey Mary, this is the video for Darcy, not Chris CrossStitch.
Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. Well, I don't really have time to reshoot this, so yeah, never mind all that. Well, Darby's definitely memorable.
Darcy.
Oh, Darcy. Sorry. Okay. Happy anniversary.
You know, Darcy, he's just really mean. Like, he asks me to do these little jingles for his channel, and I mean, I do it, but in the back of my mind I'm thinking, like, you should just go to school for music for 6 years and then you should just do it yourself. You know how Darcy always says that he's like, oh, I'm a pretty fast stitcher, and then he records stitch with me's that are just like him in bed and stitching with one hand, and then he's like, oh, I don't want to try two-handed stitching even though maybe it would be faster. Come on, man, catch up.
You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. 10 seconds. 10 seconds out of your life is not going to kill you. Darcy. It's me, Toni, the stubborn stitcher. Congratulations on your 1-year FLOSSTUBE anniversary. Wow. There are no words to explain the last year, is there? Wow. You know, your wife, Melissa, she's great. She's just a trooper. And your kids are cute. Oh, they're so cute. And, you know, all those heaven and earth designs, those are really big. And, wow, a year. Well, listen, you keep on doing you. And, again, happy anniversary, and yeah, and I gotta go. Bueno, bye. Okay, it's over.
Aww, I have never felt so much love from so many people. Anybody else want in?
I'm really confused why I'm even doing this, because, like, I don't even know Darcy. Like, we're not even friends.
Hello? Uh-huh. Okay, now who is this now? Marcy. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh, are you talking about the guy from Melissa CrossStitches? Yeah, I like that guy. He's awesome.
So I hear that it's Darcy's 1-year FlosStube anniversary. Congratulations. You know, we've been friends now for about a year. And in this time, about 99% of the messages Darcy sends me are to tell me what beverage he's drinking, or to make sure he's ahead of me in whatever sal we happen to be working on. So for the past year, I've had this competitive bad influence in my life.
So, Darcy asked me if I could put something together, a little tribute to the king of FlosStube. So, of course, King Jacob, who doesn't love him? I've spent the last couple of weeks going through his YouTube channel, rewatching all his videos, going through his website, marking off all my favourite patterns. Yeah, I had a lot I wanted to say. Today, however, I found out that Darcy actually meant himself. I have nothing to say.
So Jacob is the king of FlosStube, is he? Okay. Well, I have a feeling that if we were to ask Jacob about that he would have as much or maybe even more love and praise for me than all the rest of you have already had. So we would find out who the real king of FlosStube is if the one who you all call king were to shower his love and praise and admiration on old Stitchman here. So do you think we could do it? Do you think we could reach him? Do you think we could get a message up there in the Royal Stitch Palace to King Jacob to send his love and his admiration and his message of Stitchman, I wish I was like you. Why can't we all be more like you? And then we would all know who the real king is. Do you think we could do it? Can we reach him? Jacob, can you hear me?
Just as I was about to sit down for the evening with my whiskey and a cigarette, my evening changed with the buzz of the intercom. What is it, Jennifer?
Hello, sir. There's a Darcy Cameron on the phone for you. Says it's about some video stuff he's doing.
Darcy Cardamom? I don't know this guy. What does he want?
I don't know, sir. He wants you to record some congratulations video or something. He says he's a friend of yours from Canada. He seems very pushy, sir.
Is he the one that just turned 60 or something? Well, anyway, just have Ashley send the standard, happy, whatever. Make it nice and personal. Also remind her to get new toothbrushes, as the marble hallway is still filthy.
I'm on it, sir.
Wow. Well, I think that settles it. I think that settles the age-old question, don't you? Well, that was awesome. I can't believe that people put that amount of effort into doing that for me, and such nice, kind things to say about me. How I just feel the love, I feel the admiration, I feel the affection. And I'm overwhelmed by it. So thank you all so much. But I still feel like we're missing something. I feel like before we go, we need something a little more theatrical. Something from somebody who's a little bit more of a storyteller, maybe. Somebody who's maybe a little bit more mustachioed than the rest. Does that sound like anyone we know? For real though, before we go, thank you all. I love you all. This has been a wonderful year, and I'm looking forward to more wonderful years to come. And thank you to everybody that put in this kind of effort for me, for indulging me, for being so nice to me, for just going along with any sort of nonsense that I ask you to do. I really, really do love and appreciate it. And we've got something epic to end this with. So please, Mr. Mustachioed Storyteller, take us home.
It's time for Story Time with Chris, and tonight I have a very special story for you. I'm joined by my dear friend Sal, and this is one of his favorites, and I hope that you enjoy it as well. It's called 'Twas the Night Before Darsmas. 'Twas the night before Darsmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stitching, not even his spouse. The floss drops were hung by his Q-snap with care, in hopes that the stitch man soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of Pokemons danced in their heads. And Melissa in her kerchief and Darce in his cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, Darcy sprang from his bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window he flew like a jockey, or rather a goalie, because Canada and hockey. The snowfall had hardened and the drifts were quite rigid, for Canada's no joke and the winters are frigid, when what to his wondering eyes did appear but Chris CrossStitch himself with a 6-pack of beer. I know I'm quite late and you must all be sleeping, but this is craft beer and it ain't good for keeping. More rapid than eagles, the stairs Darce descended. He threw open the door and man, was he winded. Chris was dressed all in fur, from his head to his toe, and he said very quickly, "It's not real mink, just faux." "But how," Darcy said, "did you cross such a distance without plane, train, or car, without any assistance?" "It's magic," said Chris, "without reason or rhyme. But listen, dear Stitch Man, for I don't have much time. A year you have given the world of your stitching, a year full of laughter, of jokes, and some bitching. It's needed right now, as the world is so bleak, and the joy that you bring brightens everyone's week. Your stitches are perfect, your projects are fine, and we even love it when you drink too much wine. But mostly we watch because you are so rad, like a brother we cherish, or might never have had. So drink up, my friend, and I want you to hear, we love you, old Stitch Man. Yes, you are quite dear. A year now behind you, but more years to come, for your smile is much needed whene'er we are glum. I'll go, but remember all I have said. Drink just one beer, and then go back to bed. And with a grand wave and a bell's jolly ring, Chris CrossStitch was gone in a flash and a ping. But Darce heard him exclaim before he blinked out of sight, "Happy Darsmas to all, and to all a good night."
You're a stitch man, you're a stitch man.